Hi Math 8 students, it's Monday, March 30th, and I hope you're having a good day, starting your schoolwork and getting on with the week. And I hope that you also had a good weekend, enjoying being at home and making the best of our situation with our families. I know we are. We played a lot of games and eaten a lot of meals together and just trying to enjoy our time at home. But we're back to work, like I said, so we're going to get started right away. I am going to move out of the picture so that you can see the projector on the wall, and we're going to do lesson 11.3 right now, and there will be an update about the raffle later on. Okay, so here we go. I hope you have a piece of paper out so that you can take notes on lesson 11.3. Just so you know, my family is busy making lunch for themselves, even though it's almost 3 o'clock. And so there's a little bit of microwave noise and kitchen noise, but hey, we're all in this together. All right, so 11.3 is called Equations with Two Variables. All right. Now, when we have this, I know where they're trying to prepare you to be, because I also teach Algebra 1. So if you have an equation like this, x plus 3y equals 14, there are two different variables in it. You've got an x and you have a y, all in the same equation. Now usually when we have an x and a y, we are going to be solving an equation of a line and talking about points on a line. And so that's what this is all about. Okay, it has to do with graphing and points on a line. But we won't see that for until 11.4. So the skills that we're learning right now in 11.3 will help us to be successful in 11.4. So here's number 1. Tell whether the point 7, -6 is a solution for our equation we already write down, x plus 3y equals 14. Okay? So this is a point, and this is an equation. So when we're asking whether that point is a solution, we're actually asking if it is a point on that line. And this is how we do that. What we do is our steps, or just the instructions, is we substitute. Hey, we can hear you outside. Substitute the values for x and y, and see if the statement is true. If it is true, then the point is a solution. Okay? I know sometimes I write kind of fast, so if you ever have to pause it, feel free to do that, and take your time. I want you guys to all understand this, okay? So here is our equation. Now when I have a point like this, 7, -6, the first number in my ordered pair refers to x, and the second number refers to y. So I'm going to say that x is 7 here, and y is -6. And now I'm going to substitute those numbers into my equation. So I'm going to rewrite this down here. And now I'm going to substitute, like I said, in my directions there. So I'm going to put 7 in for x, and I'm going to put -6 in for y, and see what happens. Is that true? Is that true? So let's work it out. 3 times -6 is -18. Does that equal 14? Well, let's combine 7 and -18. What do I get? I get -11. Is that equal to 14? No. No. It's not equal to 14. -11 does not equal 14. So, my point, 7, -6, is not on the line for the equation x plus 3y equals 14, or we can say it is not a solution. What this would look like, I'm not going to be real specific about graphing it, but I can just give you an idea. All right, if I had a graph, this would look something like this. It would go over here like this. That would be my line. And 7, -6, that would be down here. So is this point on this line? No, it's not. And we just proved it by substituting. Okay? All right, here's number 2. Write the equation in function form and find 2 solutions. Okay? So here's our equation. 4x plus y equals 15. Now, when you see the phrase, write the equation in function form, that means just solve for y. That means get y by itself. Okay? So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to subtract 4x. And I get y equals -4x plus 15. I don't know about you, but I'm hearing the TV in the background. So I'm going to try to turn that down. Hey, Johnny.
I'll turn it down.
Yeah, close the door. We're still living at home. And working there too. Okay, so that's the first part. I wrote the equation in function form. Now, I'm going to find 2 solutions. So you can choose whatever you want to put in for x. It's kind of like when you make a table and you're graphing, okay? So usually the easiest numbers to use to choose for x are 0, 1, and 2. Now I said you only need 2, which is fine. They might ask you for 3 or 4. However many they ask you, that's what you want to do. But usually 0, 1, and 2 are the easiest. So when they say find the solution, what you do is first you choose two x values. So you can pick whatever you want. All right, like I said, 0, 1, and 2, those are typically the easiest. Then secondly, you substitute the x's to find the y values too. And then the last thing you do is write x and y as a point together. Okay? Okay, so the first thing we did was we rewrote our equation. All right, now the second thing I'm going to do is find my two solutions. So I'm going to choose 0 for x. All right, so here's my equation again, negative 4x plus 15. Now I'm going to choose x equals 0. So I'm going to put that in. I'm choosing that. Step 2, now I substitute. Okay? So what's y then? Negative 4 times 0 is 0, and y is 15. Do you see why I chose 0? Because whenever you multiply 0 times anything, then it becomes 0. So it's a very easy problem to do. Now, I've got x now, and I have y, and then I'm going to put them together as a point. So one solution to my function is y equals negative 4x plus 15 is 0 and 15. That means the point 0, 15 is on the line y equals negative 4x plus 15. Okay? Now I found one point, so I'm going to do the other one. So I'm going to choose 1 for x, and I'm going to find out what y is. So I'm going to rewrite my equation, and now I'm going to put 1 in. So negative 4 times 1 plus 15. Okay? So now this time I don't have a 0, but 1 times anything, gosh, that's pretty easy. So negative 4 plus 15. And when I add negative 4 to 15, I get 11. Why not choose the easy ones? Make life easier and better. Okay, so when x is 1, y is 11. Those go together. So that means the point 1, 11 is on my line. And it's another solution. It's a solution to the graph. Okay. Now I want you to do a couple of problems. So here's some OIOs for you. Tell whether the ordered pair is a solution of the equation. All right, so here's number 1. Y equals 3x minus 7, and we want to know if 6, 5 is a solution. And number 2, we want to know if I have negative 2x minus 4y equals 12, is negative 4, negative 1 a solution? All right, that's the first two. Now we want to list two solutions of y equals negative 2x plus 6. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and pause the video and try these 3 problems, and then we'll come back in a few minutes whenever you're ready. And I will just keep going. I'll pause for just a moment and then I will keep going. Alright, so I'm going to change colors. Let's go back to blue. And we'll do these. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to put 6 in for x and 5 in for y. So I've got 5 equals 3 times 6 minus 7. Is that a solution? Does that work? Well, let's see. 5 equals 18 minus 7. Does 5 equal 11? No. 5 does not equal 11. So that means that 6, 5 is not on the line y equals 3x minus 7. Okay, you don't have to write that. You just have to do this part and show your work, which you always want to do, show your work. But I'm just writing that down because that's what it means. And that's especially what it'll mean for the next lesson. Okay, let's try the next one. This is x, this is y. So negative 2 times negative 4 minus 4 times negative 1 equals 0. Okay, is that a solution? Well, let's find out. Negative 2 times negative 4 is 8. Now I have a minus, so that really means plus negative here. And then the sign of the 4 is a negative. So I have negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Does 8 plus 4 equal 12? Yes. So that means that negative 4, negative 1 is a solution to this equation, and it will be on that line. Okay, list 2 solutions. So I'm going to choose the first one where x is 0. And we're going to find out what y is. I'm going to rewrite my equation down here. I'm going to put 0 in. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, so I just have 0 plus 6, which is 6. So that means that 0, 6 is a solution of y equals negative 2x plus 6. That means that 0, 6 is on the line. All right, number 2, I'm going to choose x equals 1 because that's easy. I hope that even though I'm going kind of fast, that you've tried all these, so you're actually just checking your work. And if you find where you've made a mistake, you can pause the video and fix it. Okay? So I have negative 2 plus 6, which is 4. So that means 1, 4 is also a solution. All right. Okay, we're going to do one word problem, which is number 3 here. I'll read it out loud. At a sports store, it costs $7 to rent inline skates. Have you ever rented inline skates? I think those are the ones that have 4 in a row. And then you also have to have plus $10 for safety equipment. Oh, sorry, this is per hour. All right. So you pay $10 just once. Maybe that's knee pads, a helmet, elbow pads, whatever you want, or whatever they're giving you as a package. And then it's $7 per hour. Hang on 1 minute. Okay. So they tell you in the problem that this can be represented by this equation. This cost can be represented by this equation. And that is C equals 10 plus 7H. Okay, so the question is, what are the costs for 1 hour or 2 hours? Now that would be important. Let's say you went with a friend and you wanted to go inline skating and you were going to rent skates and the safety equipment, and you just love doing it and you'd really like to go for 2 hours. Well, you have to know what that cost is as compared to 1 hour to know if you can afford it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Okay, so we're going to do 1 hour cost. That means, look at 1 equals H. 1 hour is the H represented here. So we're going to put 1 hour in and find out how much that costs. So my cost is $10 for the safety equipment plus 7 times 1 hour of rental. So 7 plus 10 is $17. So my cost for 1 hour is $17. All right, now let's do 2 hours. So when our cost is 2 hours, the time is 2 hours, then what is my cost? I'm going to rewrite my equation here. And then I have 10 plus 7 times 2. So this time I'm going to have 10 plus 14. So my cost would be $24. That would be my total cost. Okay, now I want you to do an OIO for this. Suppose the store rounds your time to the nearest half hour. My dog is drinking water. How long, can you hear that? Can you skate if you have $35? Okay? So we have the same equation, but this time, you know it's $35. Go ahead and try that. All right, so let's go over this. Now, the cost is $35, and the question is how long? Well, what variable represents time? That's hours. So my cost is $35. And this would be what you would probably do. You would walk in and go, okay, well, I have this amount of money. How long can I skate for? So I'm going to put 10 plus 7H. And now I'm going to solve for H. So I want to get H by itself. So I'm going to subtract 10 to both sides. And I get 25 equals 7H. And if I divide that, that works out to be about 3.5 hours. So that means that I can skate for 3.5 hours or less for $35. Okay. that is the end of lesson 11.3. So I will see you in later on for lesson 11.4. Have a great Monday. Bye now.